Hey, good people. Grits or cream of wheat? Who the hell is racist? Does anyone ever ask could they touch your hair? Whew.
Black Like Me.
You're listening to Black Like Me with Dr. Alex G., a podcast that invites you to experience the world through the perspective of one black man, one conversation, one story, or even one rant at a time. Here's Dr. G.
Black Like Me.
People. What a difficult week. Not just for black people in America, but just for America. With this senseless call to the police with this lady, I think her name is Amy, in Central Park, to what happened with George Floyd in Minneapolis. My heart is just heavy. I sat down Tuesday to just talk about the Central Park issue, and someone wrote me and said, "Did you hear about what happened in Minneapolis?" So it was just tragedy upon tragedy. But my team looked at my Facebook Live and realized that thousands and thousands of people had viewed it. So we thought, let's just pull the audio from it. Let's make it into a podcast so people could just hear from one black man, one rant at a time, just my commentary on what's going on in America, how I feel about it, and I really go in deeply with the situation about the woman in New York City. So I think you're going to want to hear this. I got a little mixed up by reading the tweets because Melody, I believe she's the sister of the gentleman who the police was called on. Their last name is Cooper, but Amy, who called the police, her surname is Cooper also. So I was getting some mix up in there. So you'll hear me talking about changing Karen to Melody, but really the name is Amy. And so I'm just talking about her and her intentions. And you just want to hear this. Now for some brighter news. We have two new patrons, supporters who have come onto the Black Like Me team. And I'm so appreciative of that. I want to give a shout out to Mitchell George and Kathy Michaelis. I really appreciate you all during these crazy times showing your support to Black Like Me. It motivates me more than you realize, and it makes me want to do my very best in bringing programming to folks. And as a reminder to others, if you just join our Patreon team at just $6 a month, I'll give you a shout out also. So it's just a way of asking a lot of people to do a little so we can continue to have a huge impact on the kinds of discussions you're going to hear today. Enjoy this episode, and thank you so much, Mitchell and Kathy, for your support. Hey, Cammy folks. Okay, listen. All right, I got to start this week off with a rant. Listen, I'm so upset I wrote stuff down because usually I like to just go and just sort of free flow. First of all, I know why we use this moniker, Karen. I'm trying to start an online movement. Let's change that moniker to Melody. But I just need to just start talking. And I entitled this post to my good white friends. And I wasn't trying to be facetious. I was just really trying to say what I want to say today is really for my white friends. I don't even need black people to weigh in. And white racists, just save your time. Don't even waste your time misspelling on my Facebook page. I need to talk to people who really get this, because this crap is whack. And so a white woman is walking her dog without a leash. Y'all know the story. If you haven't, you'll see it. Put Melody in. Had a dog without a leash, someplace, Ramble. I don't know if it's near Central Park, but in New York. A brother, you don't see him, but you hear his voice say, "Excuse me, would you please put your dog in a leash?" And she basically calls the police. It's all over the media today, all this kind of stuff that's going on. But I just need to process this for just a minute. Black people, when we're by ourselves and when we're with some of our white friends who we consider to be insiders, we let them know this fear we have of being misunderstood by law enforcement. We say this. The first thing I want to say is this woman, Melody, she now proves that white people believe it. So this is the first thing I need my white friends to know. We know that white people believe it. That woman pulled out her phone and said, "I'm going to call the police. I'm going to call 911. And then her voice shifted. She went into this distress. It was more than, somebody wrote the comment, and I heard my daughter Lexi say this, the weaponization of white women's tears. But you could hear this fear in her voice. She said, "There's a man that's attacking me. He's African American." So of course, ignorant people around here saying, "Well, how do people know that this woman is white?" She said, "An African American man is attacking me." Black women don't typically call the police unless like this in these kinds of situations. And so let me just say a couple of things. One, white people know that this is not only how we see the police, but it's how you see the police. I put in the comments, I know she's a good person. You know, she has black brownies in her brownie troop. She's taking trips to, to all of this stuff to overseas countries. I don't want to hear none of that crap. Hold all of that crap, because this is how our children get shot. This is how our kids get shot. This is how fathers don't come back home. Fortunately, this brother had a phone and and a camera, and he caught it. He caught what was going on. But when brothers don't, why should we believe that this white woman in distress? And she said he's attacking me and my dog. So if you don't care about white women, care about dogs, he's attacking me and my dog. And the distress, I'm getting choked up. And the distress in her voice showed me, she was saying, "I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you." And so white folks, here's what I need you to do. Please don't call all the white black friends you know and say, "I'm so sorry." Please don't do that. I also need to but what you got to do, my good white friends, I need you to talk to your pastors. I need you to talk to your leaders, the same ones who call me secretly or text me secretly and say, "I stand with you." Y'all need to stand with Melody. Stand with her. Because you know what? Melody is a white woman, just like the white women who elected Trump. White evangelical women without whom Trump would not have been elected. I'm not trying to politicize this. I'm not trying to say she was a Trump supporter, but I'm just saying she was clearly a white female. She understands her power. Although real often white women will say, "I understand. As a white woman, I have felt wronged by white men." You know what, white women, you have been wronged by white men. I'm not trying to take that away. But even in being wronged by white men, you still possess white skin and whiteness. That woman picked up that phone and said, "I'm going to call the police. I'm going to call the police." She goes, "There's a man filming me and my dog." Meanwhile, she's choking the dog. Do you see that fool with the dog? And then, did you hear her ramp it up? "He's attacking me." If you're on dispatch and you hear a woman say, "An African American man is harassing me," that has all kinds of sexual and rape connotation over it, from Emmett Till to the Central Park. I'm not going to even call him Central Park Five, the Exonerated Five. We know what that's code for. I'm afraid for my life. He's going to rape me. He's going to touch me. I'm afraid there's a big, burly, unkempt, deranged black man who has this insatiable desire for white women. And he's looking at me funny and I don't feel safe. And she has like this cry sound in her voice. And you all, if we did not have the pictures, we would be debating this with you, our good white friends. And even though we have video, we're going to be debating this with not so good white folks. Well, she was afraid. How was she going to know? Why was he filming her? He said very clearly, "Would you please put your dog on a leash?" So now black people are getting shot in their house. She's calling the police. What is she saying to him? She's saying, "I'm about to get you. Don't try to clean it up. Listen, can I tell you something? Can I tell you how I trained my daughter? I was raised by a single mom. If my daughter thought that a man was about to attack and rape her, my daughter is a 3-time City of Madison sprinter champ. 600, 200, 60, 200, 400. Run your tail home. Melody is going to stand there and call the police. She's not afraid. You so threatened? Listen. She stood there, flat-footed, pulled out her phone and said, "I'm going to call the police." What she's saying is, because you won't stop, either I'm going to get you shot or make you think I am. But she knew exactly what she was saying to him. She was saying, "N-word, get back in your place. How dare you? How dare you do this?" And so I need people today. Listen, my white friends are my white friends. I know you're my white friends. So you don't have to write me, but you do. So listen, But you need to talk to your pastors. And if I'm your pastor, don't talk to me. But talk to your pastors, talk to your friends, talk to your leaders, talk to elected people, and just say, I got to tell you something. This is horrible. Let me tell you this too. Let me just give me just a few minutes. I'm not going to be in here all day because I gotta go to work. I can't unsee this. And my white friends, I need you to not be able to unsee this. I need you to put this out and say to my white sisters, is this who we are? See, here's the thing. Y'all don't have to be Melody. I didn't see the brother on the camera because he was behind it, but guess what? I'm him. I am him. And so please don't tell me she's just one person. She had a bad day. She was afraid. She was not afraid. She would have run. That's what people do. She's got a dog. Now, she had that dog outside at least until that camera came on. Then she started holding the dog. What did she think the man was going to do? Rape the dog, then rape her? And let me tell you something. The Humane Society that gave her the dog took it back because they thought she was unfit. Now, they didn't think she was fit to keep a dog. The Humane Society says we don't give dogs to racist people. Let's see what her boss is going to say. Let's see what her friends are going to say. Let's see what her church is going to say. Let's see. And listen, I'm not talking about trying to go after people to make a mockery out of them online. My heart is just so glad that this man is not dead. In the midst of the pandemic, when police are trying to break up big parties and keep big cities safe, this heifer has nothing better to do than to call 911 and say a black man is attacking me and my dog. And listen. Do not post her apology. That woman is not apology. She's not sorry. She's busted. She is not sorry. She is busted. You all remember when you were little and your parents got you? Were you crying because you were sorry or crying because you know you were about to get that butt whooped? She understands what's about to happen. But you know what? At this point, and I know this does not maybe not sound right as a pastor, but right now I'm just speaking as a pissed off black man. That could have been another brother in a box who needed to go home to his mother, his wife, his children, his family, his church, his company, his dreams, his business. And for white people to know that you can pick up a phone and call the police in order to scare us, it works. So listen, a couple things I want to tell you. You can't unsee this because I have to relate to him. And my white friends, you must relate to her. I'm not saying every one of you do that, but I'm saying every one of you need to talk about that. Everyone, take a break. Listen, I know you've been posting pictures about what's happening to black people, and I love that. Y'all need to post this sister's picture around. Y'all need to listen. I'm telling somebody just wrote, damn, can't we get a break? Apparently not. So in addition to dealing with wearing masks and gloves and PPE and all this kind of stuff, this woman wants this brother to go to jail or get in the back of a squad car where he can catch some COVID-19 or something. So listen, white women, y'all need to go to work on this. White women, my white sisters, my white members, my white parishioners, my white fellow pastors, y'all need to go to work on this. And listen, I'm not going to tell you how to do it. Y'all are white women and you are smart. Y'all know how to get this. Listen, I'm telling you. How do black parents prepare their kids for this? Those of you that are raising young black boys, what do you say? When someone's got a dog that's not on the leash, you can't say nothing. When someone's parked in front of your house, you can't say nothing. When somebody's blocking an intersection, you can't say nothing. How do we prepare our black kids for this world? You know what? COVID-19 is going to be over. This shit has been going on in this country for 400 years, and I see no signs of it stopping. There will be a day when COVID-19 is over. I don't believe that this stuff is going to be over. So let me stop. It's going to get better because we're going to start speaking up. Again, I don't care what you say. She believes in police brutality. Melody believes in it. Again, I just got to say, her voice said everything but rape. Her voice said everything but rape. Yes, I agree with you, little lady. They need to start charging these white women who make these bogus police calls. One, that's time and that's money. They need to do that. I don't want to hear her apology. I do not want to hear her. I don't want to hear that she didn't take her meds. I don't want to hear that she was stressed out. That woman stood there and did a power play. She did a big power play by saying, okay, I'm going to call the police. I'm glad that Twitter does some things right. When somebody said, hey, Twitter, go to work, Twitter went to work. But let me tell you something. They moved in like this and took that dog back. White people, I just want you to watch this. I just want you to watch this. Sometimes my white friends have thought that I want them to be black. No, be white. Be who you are. Be Euro-American, be it. But I need you to look through the lens of common sense. Because what's happening is that this is becoming so blatant so that we can't just keep saying that this is a mistake. And so white sisters, what are you going to say? White women who work in organizations, who run organizations, who are teachers and social workers and counselors. My friend, just got elected to the Supreme Court justice here in Wisconsin. What are you going to say? What's the message to white women? What's the message to white women? What are you going to say to white women? Because black women are going to weigh in. Black men are going to weigh in. But white women and white men, what are y'all going to say about this? Again, I know it's not you, but you know what? Gardner was not me, and Tamir Rice was not me, and Michael Brown was not me, and Tony Robinson was not me, and these folks were not me. But my heart goes out because they look like me, and they're perceived. I'm perceived in the same way. So white sisters, today, I'm gonna need y'all to get busy. I'm gonna need you all to roll up your sleeves. I'm gonna need y'all to start saying something on this stuff, because that woman was somebody's sister, daughter, mother, something. And she thinks she can fix this with apology? Let me tell you, people have been doing this to us for years. They've been saying we cheat on tests. They've been saying that we're lazy. They were saying we looked at them funny. We touched them. They're saying all of these kinds of things. White women go to work. White women go to show solidarity. And to my people, part of the ECC, who talk about standing and practicing solidarity, practice solidarity. I'm telling you, do not try to school me. This is my Facebook page. There are like 1.2 billion other Facebook pages. So if you don't like what I'm saying, delete me, stop following me, but don't bring your crap up in here today. I'm serious as a heart attack. That man could have died. I'm reaching out to my police chief in my city. I'm going to ask him, what does he do to get this kind of stuff? Here's what we can do, white people. Call the chiefs of police in your city and say, we want you to watch this video and use it for training. I'm calling my chief. I've got a notice on my phone. I'm calling my chief of police, Chief Chad, here in Fitchburg, Wisconsin. And I'm going to say, have you seen this video going on about Karen? What do you do to people who make those Melody, who make those kinds of bogus calls? What do you do to people who make those kinds of bogus calls? If that brother was beating his dog and somebody called and said, there's a black man in the park beating his dog, I bet you'd be in the back of a police car. And so, yeah, I see you, Christopher. You're saying I can do that. Yes, use it for training. Send it to people. This is what we need you to do. So please, and for many of you, action is new. So here's your call to action, my white friends. Here's the call to action. 1, do not spend all your time trying to argue and convince white folks who don't want to see this for what it is. Don't waste your time doing that. You know what? I'd rather have my good white friends reach out to other good white friends and say, if we're really good, let's say something. Because there's a group of people that are going to say, well, that's a sack of crap. That could have been doctored up. We don't know what's going on. Don't spend all your time on those folks. I don't. That's what psychiatrists and exorcists are for. Those extreme racists. They need strength, they need psychiatrists, and a good dose of exorcism. But for those of you that know good white friends, you voted for Obama. And I know, sorry, I slipped into cynicism. Because let me tell you what people are going to be saying. They're going to come out with Karen, with Melody. I know there's a moniker, Karen, which is sort of embodies this type of white woman behavior. I'm trying to start a movement, change Karen to Melody. Not that I want to memorialize this woman's name, but I want her to understand she epitomizes what is killing and what has killed black men. Do you know how many black men are in prison because somebody said something? Not just dead, but in prison. So listen, white friends, here's the call to action. If you're a part of a church, circulate it. Start talking. Have a white woman support group. and say, what do we feel about this? Write an open letter to Melody, white women. Take pen to paper. Take pen to paper. There's kind of a joke in the black community that when white people get mad, they're like, I'm gonna write a letter. Write a freaking letter. Write a freaking letter. Call the chiefs of police. Call your friends who are police officers. Talk to anyone you can get. But white women, I need y'all to light Twitter up, Instagram. I want you to come on. People think that y'all don't want to do nothing but drink pumpkin spice lattes. Show people that that's not who you are. Call people and say, is this how we working right now? In the midst of worrying about coming home safe from a walk when COVID-19 is going on, I now have to worry about a white woman with a cell phone because she don't want to be told to put her dog on a leash. And again, the Humane Society stripped her of her own. They didn't think she was fit to have a pet. But yet, we are so slow to address it from our pulpits, from our radio shows, and our books, and particularly leaders in the Christian community, white leaders in the Christian community. She just called the police on an innocent black man. That's not very pro-life now, is it? I need y'all to go to work. I need you to go to work today. You don't have to tell me you went to work, but tag people you know, talk about it, and just say, because here's the thing. Again, black people, when they see something like this, they get afraid. I just saw a dear friend of mine who just said, she said, damn it, I have a black son. How am I going to raise him in this world? Look, we told our sons, our nephews, listen, no means no. Don't touch people. Don't do this. We have talked about all these boundaries and stuff like this. So this brother can't walk through the park without having somebody put on a rape sounding alarm in her voice. Not today. Nope. Melody picked the wrong day to mess with black people. We tired of COVID. We tired of masks. We're tired of dying. We're tired of seeing ourselves in newspapers. We're tired of seeing ourselves in chains. I'm glad she's plastered all over the news. But watch how quickly they're going to try to take it down. Watch this. Keep it up there. Keep it up there. Because she represents a group of folks that are trying to establish themselves in this world. That it's their world. It's their park. They don't have to abide by the laws. It'd be different, y'all, if he was asking her to do something that was wrong. It'd be different if he was trying to say, give me $5, give me $10. He said, can you put your dog on a leash? I got to tell you something. I'm not a dog person. So when I see dogs not on leashes, I get nervous. I'm just being quite honest. So if I ask you to put your dog on a leash, so you're going to call the police? How do I know you're not going to release your dog next? So listen. Black folks breathe. We're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. Thank God for cell phones. When we were kids, our parents used to tell us to get a receipt in the store and a bag, because if people thought we were stealing, they might call the police on us. Now, don't leave home without your cell phone. Don't leave home without your cell phone. Get your bill paid up. Listen, AT&T, Sprint, Mobile, T-Mobile, all that kind of stuff. I need y'all to give black people some discounts because we need to use our phones more. I need y'all to get, y'all know I got to try to be a little funny in here so I won't cry. I feel some tears coming, so I'm trying to push them back. Y'all need to give us a black discount because we got to take pictures of these melodies because she's going to go home and she's hyperventilating. And I guarantee you that night somebody rubbed her back and said, well, what did he look like? How tall was he? I bet you she added 6 inches to his stature and probably 40 pounds. And she went and said, this black man was filming me in the park and I felt so violated and I felt so... Your ass ain't violated if you stood there and called the police in one place. Listen, I learned how to call the police and run. Listen, is that just a black thing? Something goes down, you run and call the police. You drive and dial 911. She stood there, looked at him. She stood there. I'm going to call the police. And when they didn't give her the right, did you hear her? Yes, there's a man. She told him. She said, I'm going to tell him you're an African-American man. She knew that his skin color and his gender was menacing. She knew it. She knew it. She knew it. I'm going to call. And it must not have jumped fast enough, as she said, there's an African-American man attacking me and my dog. There's an African American man attacking me. I feel I can't even laugh at it. Maybe I will in a couple of weeks, but right now I'm too scared. I'm too scared because I'm wondering how many black men died like that. Oh, my good white friends, my good white pastors. I appreciate you all, but listen, when Ahmaud Arbery was killed, a couple of you called me and said, I stand with you, or wrote me, now I stand with you. I stand with you because I'm not Ahmaud Arbery. I don't live in Georgia. I wasn't shot, but you stand with me because of something sad that happened to a black man. I want to stand with you because something sad a white person did. So this is my call to action, white friends. Don't talk to me. Do not talk to a single one of your black friends. I'm being really serious, you all. I'm trying to help you all. This is what I do. Do not waste your time trying to separate yourself from them. You want to separate yourself from them? Gil Heron Scott said back in the 60s, the revolution would not be televised. You can't just sit back and post and retweet and think you've done it. Talk to some people you know. White women, talk to your daughters. Talk to your daughters. If you're a supervisor, talk to white social workers. Talk to white female police officers, female social workers, female teachers. White women pastors, talk about it. White women in corporate leadership, talk about it. This is my reality. This is my reality. Because now there's another thing to think about, something else to pray about, something else to worry about. I know I put my hands on 10 and 2 when I'm driving. I know to show my hands at all times when I'm pulled over by the police. I know the things to say and to do. I know to get a receipt and a plastic bag. What do I do to stop being black? Because I don't want to. I love being black. But what do I do to stop that from being menacing? What do we do? So, white friends, you're going to have to meet us halfway, more than halfway. There needs to be a family talk at the dinner table with your sons and your daughters. Somebody trained her to do this. Melody didn't make this up in the park. Somehow Melody knew in her mind how to jump right to that. I would have never thought to do that. Yo, listen, if I see somebody beat up in the park or I see a fight going on and it looks like it's dangerous, I back away and find a safe place and then call the police. It never occurs to me. Can I tell you something? A man broke into our church a couple years ago. Couple of weeks before our grand opening, we did an expansion. And I called the police because I went inside. I could hear furniture being thrown around. And I called to the person. They answered me back. And I didn't recognize it. And that wasn't my custodial team. I went to my car and I dialed 911. I said, my name is Alexander G. I'm the pastor of Fountain of Life Church. I drive a black car. This is my license plate. Why? Because it was dark. And when the police came, I wanted them to go straight inside the building because my fear was this guy was about to torch it and put it on fire. And I wanted them to understand I was the one who had called. My friend at the time, this is what sparked the Justified Anger article. My friend said, Alex, I never think to describe myself when I call the police. I said, I always describe myself when I call the police because I look like an assailant. So even when it's me taking advantage of my tax dollars and I call the police, I let them know who I am. I tell them I am a black male, 50 years old. I'm driving a black car. I give them the make, the model, and the license plate number because I could not afford them to come up into that parking lot and there's only one car in it. That person who broke into our church came by foot. I couldn't have them. And the big thing was I wasn't thinking that the police were going to do anything to me. I was too concerned about our new building, but I didn't want them to be wasting all the time asking me questions. Sir, who are you? What are you doing here? I needed them to go straight inside. That woman knew exactly what she was doing. She was shrewd. She was shrewd. You know why she did it? Because she could. Because she could get away with it. You know why? Because her sister, her aunt, her friends, her colleagues, her sorority sisters, they got away with it. They got away with it. Don't even get me into other kinds of false accusations. So, white women, for the sake of other women who may be in trouble and need to be believed, for the sake of black women's sons, stand in solidarity with your black sisters. For the sake of black women's sons who are trying to go on a freaking walk in the park, watching birds and relaxing so this crap doesn't kill us inside. Reach out, talk about it. 'Cause let me tell you something. When Ahmaud Arbery was killed, black people talked to each other. Man, did you see it? Did you believe it? What's going to happen? When is this going to stop? What does it take? When are we going to catch a break? White women, I need you to go to work. I need you to go to work. Listen, so talk about it. Call your law enforcement. Ask what the penalty is for knowingly false information. Push for it to happen inside your community. Make that hashtag go viral. Change Karen to Melody. I ain't trying to memorialize Melody. But she needs to be made into a lesson. Because this is how people's sons get shot. I saw him. He was driving. Do you know how often I listen to the news and they say the assailant, the accused, is a black male, 5'8", 5'9", medium build, low haircut, jeans, jacket. Hashtag, what's Amy? Is Amy her real name? Somebody's talking to me. I can't really see it. Her name is Amy, so I got to change that hashtag. Thank you. I'm going to change that. I put Melody out there. All right, I'm going to change that hashtag. Amy Cooper. Okay, yeah. Oh, okay, I got you. Amy, I'm going to sure change that. So when I do it on here, so if y'all just logging on, I'm just venting. And I'm telling white women, you got some work to do with your white sisters. Y'all need to go to work today. White women, y'all got a call to order today. Yeah, that woman's worried about what people think about her. She doesn't want people to think she's a racist. You are. You are a racist. And you're a fear monger. And to threaten that man with your cell phone. And you so scared you stand right there. So we got to go. We have a ton of work to do. Yes, Christine, white women. That, like I said, I'm not trying to convince hardened, crazed white racists. I told y'all that's the work of a psychiatrist and an exorcist. I'm not spending time doing that. And listen, and if you don't like what I'm saying, you got a billion other pages to go to. But white women, I'm asking you to talk to your sisters, your daughters, your friends, your moms. I need you to put this around. For those of you mothers, black women who are raising black sons, my heart goes out to you. And when you see this, all your investment and all your work, and it just takes one person who doesn't want to put their dog on a leash, to put somebody's life at risk. And thank God for that man that got this. Thank God for the man who did this. I'm going to change that hashtag to Amy. I want to get that going. Yes, it's straight evil. Oh, when I say an exorcist, I'm serious. It's straight evil. So the last thing I think I want to say is, I'm not trying to say every white woman does what this lady did, what this Amy did, but I'm telling you this. My blood pressure goes up. My fear goes up. My concern goes up. I can't unsee that video. So white women, I need you to not be able to unsee it. I need it to haunt you the way it's haunting me. It's gotten in my head. It has. I go from being mad to being scared. Just the gall to not revere life and to think you know, that the power white women have to elect Trump and in other places, she exerted a lot of power. She exerted a lot of power. And so our white friends, this ain't helping race relations. And it does not put us in doubt of every white person. But every white person, what I do want you to question, we don't question every one of you necessarily. But here's what I do want you to question. How serious are you about eradicating this? Because they're going to silence my voice real soon. I don't want the media calling me. I don't want to get any phone. This is when they usually call me. I don't want to get any phone calls. Like, what do you think? What does this feel like? No, call my white colleagues. Call my white pastors. Call my white nonprofit leaders. Call white women and say, how do you feel when you're portrayed in this way? That's what I need you to do. White women, I need you to take to Twitter, to Zoom, someplace. And I want you to ask. Somebody's asking where the video is posted. Just go to Twitter. Woman calls police in the park. Somebody just asked if I heard what happened in Minneapolis. Is that something else? It was on Good Morning America this morning. It's all over the news. I saw it on Twitter last night as I was going to bed. I was reading it about midnight. And it happened on Monday. It happened on the holiday. So I'll just recap. If you haven't done it, it was on Good Morning America. Just Google white woman calls police on a black man. What I said was, hey, Laleda and Cammie, can you please do a repost on my post about this on this live and just do the new hashtag for me? Just do hashtag because I don't want to stop this to type. But can you type the new one? Hey, Kim, I see friends from high school. I checked out another one in Minnesota. I Googled Amy Cooper. Yeah, I hear people just saying I'm done. Yes. So you can catch the news, but a white woman was asked by a black man who's bird watching, would you please put your dog on a leash? Clearly the signs in the park say to do so, even across the street. And let me tell you something. I live across the street from a park. Hey, Isis, how you doing, baby? I live across the street from the park. My sister would often come over and we let our kids go outside and play. A woman didn't have it was a white family. They didn't have their dog on a leash. Scared my nephew and the kids. They were little kids. They're like 5 or 6. They ran over. My sister said, will you get your dog on a leash? Well, this is a park and I have my right. I mean, the woman act like we said, take your kid home. White people can't be in here. So my sister said, you know what? And this was like, our kids are 23. The youngest one, Lexi, Christian, are 23. They must have been 6. My sister called the police. Do you know that when the police came, they interrogated my sister? Well, they said you talked mean to them. And when the police came, he went to the white people first. He went to the people who had the dog that wasn't on the leash. Screw black people. Let's see about how Lassie is doing. Then he came over and so when my sister said, I'm the one who called you. I'm the one that told you to come over because my kids were afraid. They're breaking this rule. It says that dogs must be on leash at all time. You go to them first and then you come to me and say, well, they said you were talking harsh to them. That was 2000. They're born in 96, 2001, 2002. So yeah, when I see this, I get upset because I know what it can play out. My life wasn't threatened. But I don't know, when you call the police, aren't they supposed to come to the people that are doing the calling and not the people who are being called on? When the police walked up, the white family walked over to the police. They didn't say, are you the ones who called me? They didn't say, are you Miss G? Are you the person calling from cell number? Nope, just started talking to them, got a whole earful, then walked over to our table, walked over to where we were and told us, well, they said you weren't talking very nicely to them. Did they say that your dog ran over here and scared our kids? Did they say we live across the street, we watched this park get built? So now you're going to Let me look around. Let me look at the sign. Damn, there's no sign that says, don't talk mean to people. No mean talking allowed. No telling people to put their dogs on a leash allowed. But it does say, yeah, there's a young man that died in Minnesota because there was a knee on his neck. Y'all, people are sending me these notes. Sure did. Right here in Fitchburg, Wisconsin. I'm glad I know the chief now, because I'm not going to let anybody do or act crazy like that. You would think if I call the police and said there's a car in front of my house making threats, and they go straight to the car and say, what seems to be the problem? No, not that, because they might do that. But this white couple walked up to them. So listen, yeah, I'm so sorry, Angela. I'm sorry. Lindsay, you just watched it. Mind blowing. She told them what she was going to do. So this whole life thing, let me just tell you this while I'm out here. I work in the nonprofit world, and people talk about what white men do when stuff gets tough. And we know that business and stuff is typically dominated by black men, but in the nonprofit world, it's dominated largely by white women. And I'm just telling you, some of those discussions and power plays ain't nothing nice. So you would think, we've been led to think, that if a person's white and female, she understands the struggle and will look out for black people. That's not always the case. And I'm not saying white women don't look out. I'm saying this, with the proliferation of white women into places of leadership, why has the plight of black people not changed? Oh, are we genetically inferior? Is it our fault? Because we're not always getting pulled up. And so I don't need to hear that. I don't want to hear that, she almost adopted somebody black. I don't want to hear that she dated somebody black in college. I don't want to hear that her sister dated somebody black in college. I don't want to hear that she's a godmother to black children who are adopted by white. I don't want to hear none of that. I really want white people to go to work. I really want white women to go to work, because this is heartbreaking. In some place, Karen is worrying about her reputation. Someplace, Trayvon's mom is re-triggered. Eric Garner's family is re-triggered. Tamir Rice's family is triggered. Tony Robinson's family is triggered. Michael Brown's family is triggered. Angela on this Facebook post is triggered. The latest triggered. This is a black mother's worst fear, that her innocent black son will be accused of something, and I'm just going to say it, by a white woman. Big fear is, yeah, he'll be shot. Yeah, he'll be misunderstood as a gang dealer, but a drug dealer, gang member. But if he's away from the gun, away from the drugs, away from that play, if he doesn't have any propensity, he's not going to rob a bank or a store or a person. What's a black mother afraid of? That a white woman's going to pick up a phone and say, this black man is threatening me. Listen, if a man is threatening or hurting a woman or anyone, any color, get his butt to jail, call the police. I'm just trying to give you some straight talk. This is real fear. And it's Amy. Is that her name? Somebody right back at me. Amy. We need to, if we're going to stop it, let's stop it. If we're going to stop it, let's stop it. Do you know what group of people probably benefited the most of civil rights movement? Do you know? Latinos? No. Hispanics? No. International folks? No. Chinese Americans? No. White women. White women benefited from the struggles of black people. Because when black people open the door, we try to open it wide. When black people open the door, when others open it, they don't open it for us. Not the same way. No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. When we open the door, we kick the sucker open. So everybody else, white women, benefited so much from the civil rights struggle. Okay, let me see, what time is it? 10. Man, this stuff got me so upset. It's Amy, thank you. I feel like I need a drink, but I'm going to go someplace and pray because it's only 10 o'clock in the morning. But this is sad. It's sad. Civil rights, affirmative action, all of that helped white women. White women, I need you to understand your history. It helped white women get minority business loans, women and minority businesses. Where did that come from? Women and minority businesses. It wasn't by white women, because even when white women started women's movement, it was for white women. I can say that because when black women say it, y'all call her angry. When white women started movements, it was for white women. Do you know where white women got the template for suffrage? Anti-slavery. Yes, they watched the work of abolitionists, and it became the framework for the women's suffrage movement. But when those movements started, there were black women around the table initially. Susan B. Anthony, those folks, they had some black women around because they were learning from them, because they were abolitionists. But as it has progressed, I'm just trying to talk some real talk to you, my white sisters. We have this epitome of white men in terms of power and brutality. White women, we need you to come to the table and own some of this. Come and take a good dose of this. Read your history books. Yes, you fought. We know about the 20th Amendment. We know about what happened in 19, all that stuff. And good. Yes, we applaud it. But by and large, white women have not historically looked out for black women. So white women, today's a day of reckoning for you to begin to think about what's your role. How will history depict you? How will you talk to your daughters and your sisters and yourselves? How will you talk about this? Because I guarantee you, millions of black dinner tables will hear this discussion. Baby, when you see a woman walking a dog and ain't on a leash, just keep walking home, baby. I need you to come home. I need you to come home. Yes. Yes, Laleda, I know you've been talking about Laleda. I encourage you and some of your cohorts, black women need to talk to white women. We need to keep pushing, this call to action. So I'm gonna get y'all off of here so that you can go get to work. But again, I'll just say this. Just say this to my friends, particularly my white Christian friends, my white evangelical friends. Do not write me these secret little Nicodemus visit text message by night and say, you stand with me. I don't need you to just stand with me. I need you to stand with your white parishioners. I need you to stand with your white colleagues. I need you to stand with your white sisters. I need you to stand and say, this is wrong. What are we thinking? And if you're quiet on it, because white women can stop this, black people can't. We marched, we protested, we had dogs bite us. They mauled us on the Edmund Pettus Bridge. No. One of the best things that our white friends, our good white friends can do for race relations is not raise your children, or to raise your children to not be like that Amy lady. To not let your children be like that Amy. Yes, ma'am, Miss Dr. Gloria, like Nicodemus. That's what some of my good white friends have been doing. Alex, I'm standing with you. Hell no. Stand with the truth. Stand with the word. Stand with Jesus. Don't stand with me. Right now, black women are shaking in their boots. They can help me, Jesus. Thank you. They help me, Jesus, right now. Can I tell you what Amy did? Can I tell you what Amy did? She showed something that scares black women more than COVID-19. And it's their babies, their sons, the future fathers, not even having a chance because they asked somebody to put their dog on a doggone leash. Congratulations, Amy. In the midst of a world pandemic. You know what, Kim? And I'm hearing you this. Listen, please. I'm assuming stuff. So you don't have to justify yourself. I'm saying talk to other sisters. But please, right here, I get your sister. I get, they're scared. They got nobody's lumping you together. Kim, that's part of the problem. I'm just gonna call you out because you wrote on my page. Kim, listen, you knew this world when you had mixed children. Then this, you're gonna come straight to me. I'm gonna come straight to you. You caught me on a day, so I'm about to just unleash my inner Negro. Don't come talking with me about that. Ain't nobody on here lumped all white women together. And so I said, my good white friends. And so if you think that that's what I'm doing, you're not a good friend. And you can delete me or block yourself right now. But don't come on my page. You messing with the wrong brother today. Ain't nobody trying to lump all white women together. But when stuff like that happens, all black men are lumped together. Live with that, Kim, or live on another Facebook page. Live with that or live on another Facebook page. Now, you're going to be talking different when Amy calls on your black son. You're going to want to see me then. You're going to want some NAACP Urban League Black Church leadership then, Kim. And I'm going this. Kim ain't new. Kim and I went to high school together and stuff like that. But I'm saying you ain't going to come at me on my Facebook page today because today is not about lumping or unlumping white women. Today is about saving the lives of black men. And if you don't understand that and what I'm saying, then you're not who I'm talking to because you're not ready to be a part of the solution. That kind of attitude is part of the problem. Okay? Now, that's all the energy I want to give that. As I was saying, to white women who give a damn, who don't want to be victims, who don't want to take this and make this about you, who want to help stop racism. We can't save Amy and all them black men at the same time. Because what we can do to help black men is to stop Amy from calling. I'm talking to the white women who are like Amy. And I'm talking, and listen, let me say this too. I saw people, Donna, say you're saying something and others. White women, y'all need to talk to Kim. Y'all need to. I'm not going to spend my time talking to him. White women, start practicing right here. Because if we go right into with all white people, they're not that way. Listen, I got to act like all black men are suspect because that's what I got to carry myself. I'm mindful of that. And so you have to think about being white and female for 15 minutes. I think about being black and male every day. When I drive, when I go into a store, when I wear a mask, when I walk down a different street. So I'm just saying, take that someplace else. You messing with the wrong person today. You must be thinking about nice little Alex in high school. I've spent too much life and have seen too much. So you hit me on the wrong day, sister. So back it up and shut it down before I have to do it for you. So we got some work to do. And not the least of which is prayer, but prayer with action. Prayer with speaking up. Prayer saying something. Right here in this space, in the black man's page, where he's crying out for black men because of something that's happening. Do you see what's taking place? Do you see what's trying to take over? Not all what? Do you see? So, I'm telling you, Julie, and she don't know. She remembers somebody from 40 years ago. It's a whole different world. And so this is my page. And this is our reality. And I'm trying to help you, Kim. I don't need you to help me. I'm trying to help you and them kids you raising in this world. So, I hope you got somebody around you. I hope you got somebody around you. What's up, sending me these notes. So, well, on that note, dear Jesus. Oh, So listen, you all. I've seen people that can make a change. Let's get to folks. Let's help folks. And to be quite honest, can I just be honest with you? Some of the folks who are extremists sometimes have an easier time coming around than the folks who think they woke and they get it. Because folks that are way out there, somebody will look at this and they'll change. Others will look at it and they'll become victimized. But some people look at this and just say, all right, this is too much. This has got to be the case. Y'all, I've been doing Facebook Lives for years. I've never had like 100 people on like at one time. And so thank you for taking out the time to hear me and hear my heart. I'm going to change my hashtag to say change Karen to Amy. I'm going to do that. But please share this message with some folks who want to be helped. Not people who want to be helped. Please, please do that. My faith makes me believe that we can do better. But we got to work together. And I know that I have non-Black friends who stand with me. That's why I'm encouraging you to do some things. That's why I'm making a plea to you. This isn't a place to ridicule white people. This is a call to action. This is a call to action. What you all just saw demonstrated here, this is the life of a Black leader. When you're trying to talk, or aren't you being divisive? Aren't you being reverse racist? Aren't you? And then the issue turns off the real issue. So today, what you're hearing is not just anger. This is fear. This is fear. I wish I could just have the luxury of being angry today. I'm angry when somebody cuts you off at a light. I'm angry when somebody gives you the finger. When I watched that video, I didn't know how it was going to end. My heart was jumping in my chest like, what's this brother doing? Just let it go, man. Just walk away. Let her have her dog. But he's like, this is my park too. I pay taxes too. She said, I'm going to show you. I am going to show you. So, my white women who are friends, my white friends who are my friends who are white women. You got work to do today. Black folks, we got work to do today. In the midst of all of this, we got to still take care of ourselves, go for a walk, pray, do something. We're resilient people. We have done good together. We know how to do good together, but unless we have this big wake-up call, unless our non-Black friends wake up. You know what? I'm going to use this point to make this statement because it's relevant. For about the past 2 to 3 years, I've been tracing my white roots because I want to understand that I'm a descendant of this historical crap. Not because I just want to beat myself up and hear the negative stuff. But anyway, I'll just fast forward and say, I worked with a friend of mine, Greg Jeske, who used to be the anchor for Channel 27 here in Madison, WKOW. And he's created a documentary about me and my search for my family. I found the G Plantation down in Lee County, Mississippi. The video is out. I'm going to drop a link in here to you all today. I'm going to be doing some talkbacks on it. It's a 40-minute documentary. It is excellently done. We filmed it in 2018. And I'm actually sitting down with the great-grandson. This gentleman whose great-grandfather and my great-great-grandfather were brothers. He is white and I'm Black. But his great-grandfather, Robert Lafayette G., and my great-great-grandfather, Henderson G., were brothers. Henderson, my great-great-grandfather, was half Black and half Welsh. He was a result of a rape. He was a son of Reuben G. And so I actually saw the place where the G family became Black. And so I'm going to be posting that because I want people to see it, because this stuff that's happening in the news today is reminding me on certain days how little ground we've covered. So it's called Justified Journey. It's excellently done. Greg Jeske and I worked on that. So I'm going to be posting that. So please look for that. Look for that. If you don't follow me on Dr. Alex G, I think the actual Facebook page is Dr. Dr. Rev R-E-V Alex G. D-R-R-E-V-G-E-E. I think you can just do Dr. Alex G and find it. I'm going to post it there. I'll post it here on this page too. But I'll post it inside this because you'll all get a copy because you've been participating in this link. That's right, Dr. Gloria. Thank you for going in on her because I don't have the energy to talk to her no more.
I think that's it. If y'all missed this, rewind it, share it. I just wanted to give y'all some honest feedback about what I was thinking and feeling today. Dr. Gloria Ladson Billings wrote to the woman who says that not all white women are white people. She said, she asked him, when's the last time you rejected some privilege? She exerted all kind of privilege on this Black page today. So I think it's been a while since she's abdicated some privilege. Okay, you all have a good day. Do the best you can in shaking your head out of this stuff. For folks who hung in there, 80 to 100 of you, KT Woods and others, thank you. Thank you, because we need to get through this together. I'll just give you a little bit of history. When the lunch counters were segregated, particularly I'm thinking like in North Carolina, white women came from some of the private women's colleges and sat in solidarity with Black people. When national news caught picture of white women being scalded by coffee with Black people, it went out to the whole country. And in about 9 months, lunch counters were desegregated because the country couldn't believe that that same hatred that was pushed on Black people would be pushed on white people by just trying to help. By white women getting in a fight, it changed the game. Thank you, Katrina. Thank you, Pat. Thank you. It changed the game when white women got involved. It changed the game. Know your history. Know your history. It's not just white women doing bad stuff. White women sat in solidarity. They didn't stand across the street. They left their white women's colleges threatened with expulsion. They'd have to go home and tell their white fathers why they got kicked out of private white women's schools to go sit with the... Yeah, and those sisters, they weren't Karens or Amy's. Those are sisters who sat in solidarity. White women, I know you're tired too. And so, your call to action. Call your police chiefs. Ask what the rules are on the books. Talk to your daughters about loving everybody. Address the fear that's out there. Because there's no bad language used, I think you can actually show the video if someone's old enough. But unless we talk about it and just denounce it, we embrace it. We embrace it. For those of you that might be my white sisters who are pastors, or you know white women who are pastors and leaders, we got to call this out. Because when we talk about white privilege, a lot of times we think about white men. We don't think about this scenario. So thank you all. I appreciate your I speak the truth and I speak tough, but I do it because I believe that together we can make something happen. I really do. And if I've offended anyone, you'll get over it. All right, y'all, have a good day.
Black like me, yeah. Ooh, black like me.
Thank you for listening to today's podcast. You can find out more about Dr. Alex G's amazing work at www.alexg.com. Black Like Me is sponsored by the generosity of the Human Family Unity Foundation.
Ooh, black like me.